Boom, we're pre-recorded. I wanted to take today to go over a little bit, to talk about some of the war cycles that are also closely related to market cycles. Now, first off, this America. Guys, you haven't even finished the first wars you started. Okay, so I remember being younger, and there was Afghanistan. Let's see, there's been Iraq. Let's see, Saudi Arabia, Syria, probably missing a few. But you guys need to learn to finish what you started the first time, or maybe not start a new one at all. Like, you already have enough going on in all these countries, and those were all failed war attempts. I mean, the hardest part is the realization that a lot of the times negative market cycles are then closely linked and followed by war. And they actually expedite the process of the market degradation. Now, it's one of these weird and abstract things that I'm constantly pondering in my mind. But what does this kind of stuff do to the markets? You know, everyone's excited about Bitcoin going to 10,000, and I myself also agree that it's going there. But I'm really starting to wonder, you know, as these things get worse and worse, what is the value of an asset? You know, the more risk there is in life in general, the less privilege you have to think about things like value, creation, wealth acquisition. And it's always such a disturbing fact to see. You know, they're like, oh, we found the Iranian fingerprints. It's like, look at the bomb that was made. You know how easy it is to make it look like someone else did something? Like, I'm not even that good at hacking or like, let's say, crime. I've never done any of it. So, in the point of the story is it'd be pretty easy, I think, to make it look like someone else did something. There's just, you got to look for those opportune moments. And it seems so, it just seems almost impossible that it was Iran. Anyways, the point of the conjecture that I wanted to make here was, if the United States gets into a war and if there is market recessions, what does that do to the price of Bitcoin and the rest? Again, I'm not saying it's going to negatively affect it, but just as a personal question, if there is a new war that starts, chaos breaks out, gas prices jump, what does that do? What does that do to the rest of the global economy? What does it do to the system that we currently live in? Do you think people are going to find that they are more irrationally exuberant, or do they go into massive dollar-saving modes? Now, we've seen a lot of bullish indicators for Bitcoin. You know, the idea that they're going to start printing money potentially, the lowering of rates again. We see the Fed stepping backwards and all the things that it said it wasn't going to. So, I mean, this is basically the ultimate catalyst for Bitcoin, aside from that eerie feeling I get of what happens if everything starts to go to shit. I don't think that there were huge market bursts and bumps during any of the wars. So this just comes down to, I mean, obviously these all the wars that America started by itself are vastly different than, say, World War I or World War II, where you had multiple countries entering into this, let's call it a game plan. My real sentiment is hooray for everyone. Bitcoin is up at $10,000. But just to remember in the back of your mind to be aware of black swan events, those moments where what happens in these markets can, leave everyone wrecked. I mean, I think this is one of the most important parts to being an entrepreneur, is getting used to the ups and the downs. If you can't survive the down, it's going to be a very difficult time. And this is one of the reasons why I'm always a little cautious when we see all these positive market indicators followed by war sentiments. They don't go well together. The war sentiment generally overrides any positive market indicators that you might be seeing. Anyways.